Welcome back to the Rules of Engagement. Let me tell you guys, if you enjoy watching this show or watching our, Winter Showdown series or any other stuff we do on a daily basis, it's awesome content. I love doing it. You guys love watching it. But where the magic really happens, where it's really awesome, is our big championship events. There's one coming up in Dallas, March 15th through 17th. If you want to go see it live, if you're anywhere remotely close to the area, you can afford a plane ticket, whatever. It's an awesome experience. I encourage you guys to go out there and check it out. March 15th through 17th. Right now, if you buy your tickets online, it's 30% off, $35 now, $50 if you show up at the door. Of course, there's also some VIP tickets available if you want to be a baller. There's only a few of those left, so if you want to splurge to have the true VIP experience, you can go check those out as well. But now let's talk about game number 3, MVP versus Curious. A couple things going on in this game is Curious decides he's going to be angry. He's tired of losing. He's going to do some crazy early speeding pressure. We'll talk about how to defend that. We'll talk about when you're behind, why it's important to make a calculated gamble, and what's different between rage quitting, doing something crazy, and making a calculated gamble to get back in the game. And then we're doing a mass blue flame attack. How should you prioritize what to target? Like the micro behind, the theory of micro behind that, the type of attack. So let's jump into the game here, and one thing to notice, this game, Curious went pool and gas before hatchery, right? And that puts Zerg so far behind against a Terran player. He's got to do a ton of damage with this mass speeding attack that's going to be coming at MVP, right? I mean, he's just got to do some damage. But MVP, being a smart guy, Scout, with the SCV Scout, you could tell there was fast speed. He knows what's going on. If you know your opponent could be having fast speed, what you do is you follow a few simple rules, right? Every depot you place, it's got to be near the wall off, right? You got the bunker here. Protect that guy a little bit, less surface area. Make sure the wall on the top of your ramp solid. Your first 2 Hellions, those stay in the main. They don't run out. If they run out, let me pause this right here, right? If these Hellions ran out, Speedings would surround them, they kill them. And all of a sudden, right here, you think 2 Marines can deal with this amount of speedings? No. You lose the bunker, you lose all the SCVs, you lose everything, right? So, if you know their speed early, you keep your Hellions in your main until you get about 4 of them, then they can run out and take on speedings. But your first 2, keep them up there. And then, of course, when the speedings try to get that bunker, you can see here, boom, the flamethrowers would roast them all if they stayed around and try to knock that bunker out. So, great defense here. A few simple rules if you know their speed early. Depots around the bunker, so there's that surface area. But most importantly, keep the wall in your main tight, and the first 2 Hellions stay in the main. So now from here on out, Curious is significantly behind. He's got to make a calculated gamble because he really sacrificed so much to do this speeding attack and didn't get anything done. Right? There are some normal speed attacks that are different. This is a very committed one that he did, so he's significantly behind. So he's got to play catch-up. And a great calculated gamble is to say, you know what? Let's play assuming my opponent's going to do something. And if I just try to hard counter that, try to be in the best possible position versus that type of attack, then if they do that, I'll be okay. If they don't do that, I'm dead, but you know what? I'm really far behind anyway. The best chance of victory is try to hard counter the build they're most likely to do. So right here, what Curious is going to do as he's playing, he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to assume my opponent's doing what the vast majority of Terrans do in Heart of Swarm. It's called the Hellbat drop. I'm sure you guys have heard it before. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to tech the minions as fast as possible so that I can knock out the medevac and the second time it comes in, I can get map control. If he commits the Hellbat drop, he'll have not much anti-air. Minions can do damage. But I've got to make sure I can survive that first Hellbat drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. It's going to come in this way, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to go over here and grab a Spore Crawler right here. Boom. Grab that Spore Crawler. So the first medevac that comes in, that Spore Crawler, look at the timing of the medevac and the Spore Crawler, right? It's finishing. It'll be to stop that. In fact, if the medevac was on the way, it would still probably come up just in time. Next thing he's going to do is he's going to make sure he's got enough queens. That first time medevac will come in that way. If he tries to then come around, what he can do is he can grab all his queens. He has a queen here. He's got the queen there. He'll grab them all and collect them in the main. And combined with the queens and speedies, if he collects them right, he should be okay against the Hellbat drop. Be in tight defense, but the Spore is very well positioned. It'll make the Medevac go around. It'll give him more time to get his queens in position. He should be okay against Hellbat Drop. So it's a calculated gamble. He's saying if he goes for Hellbat Drop, I can be okay in this game. Which is a good thing because I'm right down behind. Unfortunately, what happens is his opponent just goes for a mass Blue Flame Hellion attack. He doesn't know that. You know, there's no way he can know that at this point. MVP's hit the build well. But then it comes to this point where all of a sudden MVP's running in here. And it's mass Blue Flame Hellions. The first queen's out of position goes down. And, you know, speedlings are just not going to cut it. So the important thing here to realize, this is what a lot of people don't realize doing this build. When you're going for the Blue Flame Hellion attack, your target priority, right? This many Hellions, you want to kill your opponent or do insane damage. So you don't want to just run in here and target these drones. Like if you were to run in here and just try to, if you were to try to target these drones here and try to knock out this spot, you know what would happen? If you target those drones there, these speedlings, they're gonna come up here, and you're gonna lose probably about 3 to 4 Hellions off the back of your end, just the speeding damage before you even get that second volley off. So never go for the drones first when you're doing this. Always prioritize the Zerglings, and then between the queens and the drones, some of that's tough call, but you want to knock out their combat units first. Preferably kill the speedlings and the queens. Because you know what? Yeah, the drones will live. But once you kill all the speedlings and the queens, you have all the time in the world to kill drones. If you kill the drones first, then the speedlings and the queens kill you. So if you're doing a committed attack with a lot of Hellions, you don't just want to kill a couple drones, get 1 or 2 shots off. You want to actually do critical damage. Go for the units first. Go for the units first. Roast all these speedlings here, right? Keep kind away from them. Roast them, roast them, roast them. Then once they're dead, you go for the queen, right? Going for a couple of drones here, but mostly going for the queen. Then once there's nothing else that can fight you, at your leisure, you can kill all the drones. And then there's no combat units, so at your leisure, you kill more combat units. You can just work your way up in the main after you kill the queen. And then, of course, you just kill the drones in the main. But, yeah, there's just... It's toast, right? So you see he's always stopping to kill the speedlings. He doesn't focus the drones first. Always go for the speedlings because once you kill those, then you kill the drones you want. If you kill the drones first, speedlings, well, Blue Flame Hellions counter them. Speedlings do really high damage per second. So if you ignore them, they will take your guys out. Focus those guys down first. And you don't even have to focus them. All you have to do is attack move. You just run away from them in between attacks, attack move. Run away from them in between your attacks. The process is called kiting. Attack move. Just keep doing that. Knock out those guys once they're all dead. Drones are at your mercy. So that wraps up game number 3. Take a short break and then do some Q&A. So tweet me any questions at axslav.